Uh, but, you don't have to break the bank, but it is important to consider where you're gonna be streaming, because if you are in an exceptionally live room, live meaning bouncy, lots of reflections, like I am, you're gonna wanna use what's called a dynamic mic. So, there's 2 main types of mics that we usually talk about in this realm, dynamic and condenser. Dynamic is the old school OG, this guy. This is one of the first dynamic microphones we ever made, and this is the anniversary edition of the 5575. And that has the same capsule or the same physical principles as my MV7 Plus does, which just came out 2 weeks ago. So, dynamic microphones work on a basic principle of a diaphragm attached to a coil that surrounds a magnet. When you talk or sing into it or make any sort of noise around it, shoot, your HVAC can set it off, but it won't as much as a condenser. We'll get to that. Then it vibrates the diaphragm, moves the coil around the magnet, and creates an electromagnetic signal. So it's taking your acoustic energy and getting it into an electrical signal that gets into your computer, into your mixer, into your audio interface. And it's a little bit harder to make that work because you're physically moving something around a magnet. Whereas a condenser, like many of you may have, that uses an electrically charged backplate. It's much thinner, and it takes much less physical energy to make that diaphragm move because it's not having to move around a magnet or make a coil do anything. It's just much more sensitive in a good way. And it's also more prone to picking up all the other noises because microphones do not discern. Okay. They don't focus in, they don't have laser beam technology. They're not going to listen. They are going to be limited by your proximity to the mic. And if they're a condenser mic, they're going to try and hear as much as they can because they're meant to be sensitive in a good way.